So welcome back to our science class. It's me again, Teacher N. And we are now in unit number 2, lesson number 3. And for this lesson, we're going to talk about the methods for separating mixtures. Methods for separating mixtures. It's review time! Can you still remember our last topic? Okay, last time we talked about the types of mixtures. We have the heterogeneous. Okay, heterogeneous meaning they are not in uniform. Okay, the mixture is not in uniform. Simple as that. We have homogeneous. When we see homogeneous, of course, they are in uniform. They are in uniform in size, in color, and in shape, right? So now we will be discussing the methods for separating mixtures. The first method we have is hand picking, using our bare hands. So this methods is we used when we separate the unwanted solid materials to the wanted solid materials. So they are being mixed together, so we have to separate them. Okay, so like for example, we have the rice husk and we have the rice grains. If these two were being mixed, so we have to separate, of course, the rice husk. So we used to separate the husk from the grains. All right, that is hand picking through our bare hands. The second method is we have the sieving. Sieving is the methods to separate the solid substances of a different sizes from a mixture. So, such as sieving the sand or sieving flour. Okay, like this one, this is sieve. Okay, we used to separate the bigger materials. Okay, separate from the a little not too big materials, so we use sieving by sieve. All right, so we use it like sieving sand or sieving flour. Next is we have magnetic. We use magnets. Okay, it's a process of separating components of mixtures by using magnets to attract magnet materials. Okay, like for example, the sulfur and then mixed by the iron fillings. So we use the magnet to separate the sulfur from the iron fillings because iron fillings will be magnet or will be attract to a magnet. So that is what we call magnetic. We use magnet to separate two solid materials. We have also filtration. Okay, filtration is a method to separate a mixture that has a substance does not dissolve in a solvent. What do you call by solvent again? Okay, the very common solvent is the water. Okay, so we used to filter water or solvent. Okay, so that the one the materials or the substance doesn't dissolve in the solvent, it will be separated. So we use something cloth, right? So like for example this one, or we use also filtration paper. So like for this one, we use the cloth to separate the coconut and the water. Okay, coconut milk and the salt, okay, of the coconut. Okay, so that is filtration. So we have also what we call evaporation. So when we say evaporation, it means we separate mixtures that has a soluble substance in a solvent by heating. Okay. So again, soluble is by example, if we have the saline, okay, saline water. Saline is composed of a water and a salt, right? So we use evaporation to separate the salt from the solvent or from the water by heating, okay, by the use of fire. That is evaporation. We also use like this, okay, salt farming, okay, from the water salt, okay, we harvest the salt, okay, by heating through the sun. All right, so next is we have sedimentation. When we say sedimentation, meaning is to separate fine solid particles that are suspended in the liquid, so by using the alum. Okay, we can see that in the next slide. All right, so as what can you see here in the picture, we have the low turbidity and we have the high turbidity, meaning the water is really dirty. So my question is, if we use the sedimentation, meaning it's from the layers, so we can separate the water from the what's this, from the dirt, right? So the water that is left stand and solid particles slowly settle down in the bottom of the container. So we accelerate this process by adding the alum to the solution. So the clean water we got by sedimentation is still a lot of bacteria, even it's already clean. We cannot see it in our naked eyes, but still the water is dirty. It means you cannot still use this one because it's still a lot of bacteria and hazardous substances. So again, we cannot drink it and we cannot use it, right? So it needs further purification before using it. So we have to purify first the water before using it, alright, so that the bacteria will die, right? Again, the water from the canal, even if we use sedimentation, we used alum to accelerate or to get the dirt, but still the water is not clean and it's not advisable to use. Use of alum. Okay, by the use of alum. Alum is a solid white substance. It draws suspended materials to aggregate, forming large clumps that finally settle at the bottom of the container. So when we use alum, alum is like this. So example, if we use the water from canal, so we used, example, we were going to use the alum, so we will submerge the alum to the water, to the solvent. So by that, the the substance will be formed a clumps, okay. They will be formed maybe circle, okay, and then they will be submerged at the bottom, they will be settled down in the bottom, okay. That is, we use alum. Okay, so that's it. It's really simple. So we have to wrap up our lesson. First thing is we have different methods of separating mixtures. We have what we call hand picking. Hand picking use our bare hands. Okay, we pick. Okay. Next is we have sieving. Sieving, we use sieving for the sands or from flour. Okay, we used to get the unwanted solid from this one. So we use sieve. Okay, that is sieving. We have number 3, we have magnet. So if you want to separate the sulfur from iron filling, so we have to use the magnet because the iron filling will be attracted to the magnet. Alright. We have also number 4, we have filtration. Filtration, so that the thing is we have to separate the insoluble materials mixed in the solvent, which is the water. So we use again filtration. We use cloth or filtration paper. All right. So we have also number 5. We have evaporation. Okay, evaporation is to separate the soluble materials to our solvent. The very common is the salt water. Okay, we use heating for them to separate the water from the salt. All right, so that is evaporation through heating. We have also the sedimentation. Okay, so this is sedimentation. They will form a layer. Okay, sedimentation. So this will be your worksheet for today. And your worksheet is just like this. Okay, this is 4 items. The first part, um, we have here the pencil debris, okay, in the water, and we have the saline solution. Saline is water and salt, and we have also the gravel, and we have the sand. Okay, sand is a little bit smaller compared to the gravel. Okay, so we have the choices. We have filtration, we have sieving, we have picking out, and we have evaporation. Okay, for the first question is we have this one. How will be able to separate the pencil debris from saline solution, sand, and gravel? As in, what kind of methods are going to use to separate this mixture? The pencil debris. We will remove this one. So what do you think is the um, very good methods that we're going to use of this separation? Okay, the pencil debris, we will be remove this one. So what is the methods are we going to use? Is it filtration, is it sieving, picking out, or evaporation? And for the second one, how will be able to separate the gravel from saline solution? What kind of method are we going to use if we separate the saline solution in the sand and the gravel? Okay, that is number 2. So what kind of methods are we going to use? Is it we're going to filtrate them, filtration, or are we going to sieve them, or we're going to pick them one by one, or are we going to evaporate them using the heat of a fire or the heat of the sun? Okay, and for number 3, we have here. So what kind of separation are we going to use? If we're going to separate the sand and the gravel, so that is number 3, what methods are we going to use? Is it filtration, sieving, picking out, or evaporation? If you listen to our topic, or I mean to our previous slides, you can answer this one. And how about number 4? We have the saline solution. How will we be able to separate the water from the salt? How will we be able to separate the water from the salt? That is number 4. Okay, and for the part 2, we have this one. This is number 5, this is number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So all you have to do is you have to write the answer on this box. So we have your magnetic, we have sieving, hand picking, sedimentation, filtration, and evaporation. So for this number, what is the best methods of separating mixtures are we going to use? Sand and gravel. And this one is food. Okay, how will we able to separate this, okay, from different colors or maybe from different types of food that are being mixed? And for the for 7, how are we going to separate the sulfur from iron filling? And we have number 10, how we'll be able to separate the coffee from the sap of the coffee. And number 9, the water. And this one. And number 10, we have the water and the salt. How will we able to separate them using the fire? Okay, what kind of methods is that? And so that's the end of our class for today, and hope you will enjoy and you will answer your worksheet. And see you next time. Bye bye. Thank you for listening.